Three goals, 3 points, and a clean sheet. And yes, everything from Chelsea versus Manchester City at the Stamford Bridge. Now, before this game, the last 5 games for Manchester City in all competition was 2 wins, 2 losses, and a draw. And for Chelsea, their last 5 games in all competition was 4 losses and just 1 win. Manchester City were actually favorites going into this game. Now, let's talk about the first half of this game. In the first half of this game, Manchester City were not at their best. And the first half sort of reminded me of the game between Arsenal in the Carabao Cup final, where Manchester City were very slow. They couldn't create any chance. They were finding it difficult to break down Arsenal. And it was similar to the first half against Chelsea, where Manchester City just had the ball, lots of the ball, but they couldn't create any chance. They were very slow on the ball. They couldn't make anything happen. And you could say Chelsea were sort of like the better team in that first half because they had an offside goal. They had a chance where Joao Pedro almost got a goal. They had another situation where Kopama almost got a goal. They had another situation where Pedro Neto almost got a goal. So they had some chances, but in that first half, Manchester City were not at their best. They were very slow. Semenyo, Doku, Cheki, they were really not in the game. I would say for Doku, especially in that first half, he was not getting past his player. He just kept losing the ball. Like nothing was actually working for Manchester City in the first half. Now, let's take a look at the stats in the first half. First half, Chelsea had 33% possession. Manchester City had 67% possession. Chelsea had 0.25 expected goals. Manchester City had 0.57 expected goals. 5 shot for Chelsea, 5 shot for Manchester City. 1 shot on target for Chelsea, 2 on target for Manchester City. Zero big chance for Chelsea, zero big chance for Manchester City. Zero big chance miss for Chelsea and zero big chance miss for Manchester City. Now, I understand if you didn't watch the game and you just go by the stats of the first half, you actually say Man City were the better team because they had more XG in that first half. But to me, honestly, I think Chelsea were sort of the better team. Man City didn't really create much. I think the only clear-cut chance they had was the one Bernardo Silva missed. But I think Chelsea were more threatening in that first half. But that's the start for the first half of this game. And now let's go into the second half of this game where everything changed. And only God knows what Pep Guardiola said to the players in the second half of this game. In the second half of this game, Manchester City started very well. They were putting Chelsea on pressure. You could see the difference. They were trying to make things happen. It just felt like Chelsea could not really make anything happen. And the first goal came from a cross from Cherki into the box. And again, it's not that person than Nico O'Reilly, always inside the box, and he got the first goal. Now, let's talk about Nico O'Reilly so far this season. This boy has been spectacular. I would say at this moment right now, if they are to give like the young best player in the Premier League that award, I would say they should give it to Nico O'Reilly. He deserves it. And also, I think he should be in that conversation for one of the best players in Manchester City this season. The only person that is likely to rival him will likely be maybe Checky. But I think if he gets it, I don't think there'll be any issue with that because he's been very, very fantastic. Playing from the left back, scoring goals. Sometimes he plays in the midfield. Like he plays in different positions. So far this season, Nico Riley has done excellently well. In the Premier League so far, Nico Riley has played 29 games with 5 goals and 3 assists. And we can see here on the table in all competitions, he has played over 46 games. He has 9 goals and 6 assists. That is bringing it to 15 goals contribution so far this season. For someone that plays left back position, honestly, that is a crazy number. Having 15 goal contributions so far this season, it's not easy. And Nico Riley is playing so well this season. It's just unfortunate he had to be substituted in the 64th minute or so. I think he felt his hamstring and hopefully it's not going to be serious and he'll be available for the next game. Now let's talk about the second goal, and that was scored by McGay in the 57th minute. And there's nothing as good as him getting his first goal for Manchester City. McGay has been excellent for Manchester City ever since he came in January. He has been very, very good and he has been very solid at the back. But for this game, he was excellent. And the ability for Cherki to just find him in that space. That was very, very good. For this game, McGinn actually played very well, and let's talk about the numbers. He had 118 touches, 102 passes attempted, 101 passes completed, 9 duels contested, 8 duels won, 3 tackles, 3 interceptions, 3 touches in opposition box, 1 shot, 1 goal, 0 fouls conceded. When you look at those numbers for this particular game, McGay was fantastic. Him and Kushanov at the back line, you can say those will likely be the two centre back Pep Guardiola will be using from now to the end of the season. I'm not sure I see Diaz coming back into this team. Diaz might have to really work hard for it, but so far right now, they've been excellent at the back line. They have the pace, they are very solid at the back. And for this game, McGay was spectacular and he scored the goal like a striker. Like if you didn't know, you would think that's like a striker goal, a low driven shot to the other side of the goal post. And massive credit to McGay for this game. And in the 68th minute, Doku just finished the game off and Chelsea just knew there was no coming back from it. We all know Doku doesn't really score goals because you can say you see two players are always on him, sometimes three players are always on him, but despite that, he's still able to find that space out to maybe give the assist or create something. And I'm also happy for Doku in this game because he finally got a goal and well deserved. You know, Doku is very quick. He can take on players, and for this particular game, in that first half, he didn't really play well. Honestly, he wasn't at his best, but in the second half, he was a different player. And finally, let's talk about Czechie. We can't forget Czechie because Czechie has been superb this season. If there's one thing I'm going to say, I think Czechie is one of the best signings so far this season, if not the best, for the 2025-2026 season. And let's talk about his numbers in this game. Ryan Czechie had 34 final third passes, 3 touches in opposition box, 2 shots, 2 successful take-ons, 2 chances created, 2 assists. In the Premier League right now, Ryan Cherki has become the second player to get double figures when it comes to assists. I think the person leading on that is Bruno Fernandes, who has been very good. But for this particular game, Ryan Cherki was good. He played very well. The game against Arsenal, he did well. Also against Liverpool, he did well. Today again, he has showed up, he has turned up. Like Rancheki is just doing excellently well so far this season, and he has been that guy creating, always trying to make something happen. But sometimes, he might get carried away whereby he's trying to make a trick and he loses the ball, that kind of situation. But for this game, Cheki was superb, Cheki was excellent. And the truth is, I have no complaints. I think every player did their job. They were fantastic from the goalkeeper to the striker, the midfielders. Like I can't keep talking about Bernardo Silva and Rodri as those double pivots. Those two guys, the experience there is very, very massive. You can tell they might not be getting the goals or giving lots of assists, but the way they control the game, the way they dictate the tempo of the game is just very good to watch. Erling Haaland didn't get a goal. He almost scored a goal, but then again, there are always people on Erling Haaland, and he's able to like drag people with him to create space, and that what happens anytime more people are always focused on him, and Nico Riley is always there to take the advantage. Now, this win is very massive for Manchester City, considering the fact that their next game is Arsenal, and that will be at the Etihad, and that's going to be a massive game. Before this game, you could tell there was so much pressure on Man City before this game. There was pressure because Arsenal dropped points, Arsenal lost to Bournemouth, and the pressure was for them to go and get 3 points. A draw won't be a good result, but I think getting all 3 points in this game is a massive result. And big congrats to the boys. They did excellently well. And let me know what you think about this game. Please do not forget to like, do not forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you very much.